Welcome to Tunisia's Beauty Tips. Oh, I messed it up. Welcome to Tunisia's Locs, Beauty Tips, and Potpourri. Beautiful, beautiful, perfect people. How's everybody doing today? Welcome to the channel. I want to talk to you today about 11 things that will, beyond a shadow of a doubt, ruin your locks and destroy your journey. All right, before I get started though, I want to let you guys know that you can now order my products on the I Am Melanin Magic website. However, I encourage those of you who are Sisterlock tribers to continue to order from me via my personal information unless you feel particularly called to just order from the site. For as long as I can, I want to be able to continue to provide a little bit more personal service. And when you guys come through my phone, it's a lot easier. But you can go to the IamMelaninMagic.com website. It's pretty much completed, but a few little things need to still be tweaked, but you can order from the site. This is our premium, the premier product, which is the I Am Melanin Magic hair oil. This 8-ounce bottle will last you quite a while. I noticed those of you who are making repeat purchases, with the exception of those of you out there who are obsessed with the product and really just like to use it, are mostly ordering like every 3 months. Okay, so this can last you a while. Some people a little bit longer. It just depends on the frequency. The more you use it, as long as you're washing your hair, oh, not again. He's gonna have to leave a message. I can't do it today. But the longer you go in between, just lost my train of thought. So it just depends on how often you actually use it. I use this on my hair about 2 times a week most of the time. All right, which is adequate for me. You may like to use it more. The more you use it, the more growth you're going to have. Okay, this is a phenomenal product, and I'm going to be sharing in some upcoming videos some of the pictures of some of the growth that some of the ladies are experiencing, even those that have had what is considered alopecia or some other more textbook type patterned hair loss, which is what this is really for, okay, which is the magical hair growth serum. This is a very different product than the other one. All right, it's very good. It's very effective. It is for issues related more to thinning and baldness, where maybe you haven't had luck with other products. Give this a try and see how this works for you. This is the Acne Serum here, all right, or just the Acne Serum. Many of you have written in and given me pictures of how you've been able to alleviate your acne, your adult acne, which I had for almost, y'all know how long it was, in my 30s, which is what started this, and Sophia's acne is what caused me to begin to develop particular blends for issues. This is the Fade Magic. Shout out to Dion, who's getting ready to get, I think, a second application. This is good for removing dark spots. Now, keep in mind that this helps. I don't want to say removes. It can help it because it helps to heal your skin. It helps with cellular regeneration. It has antioxidant support. It helps with hyperpigmentation. Everybody's skin is different though. Everybody has different needs. This is a product that I suggest you use consistently for a minimum of 2 months, okay? I suggest ideally 2 to 3 months, minimum 2 months, although you should begin to see lightening prior to that. Now, it depends on also what kind of scars you have and how long they've been there and a host of other things. This is where the question mark can sort of come in, all right? But I've got some moles. I've got a couple of moles. I don't know if they call them sunspots or not that I'm working on this side. So we're going to see how that does. And then, of course, the infamous anti-aging serum as I come up on my 50th birthday. This, by far, in the entire line, is my favorite product, okay? The other one I want to mention that I've had a lot of success with recently, that I'm going to go ahead and begin to market probably in another month or 2, is the serum that is for Bartholin's cysts. There are many women out there who struggle silently with boils and cysts in the vaginal area. And either they suffer for months at a time, or they have to have invasive surgery to have these things cut, which can can bring on an excessive and inordinate amount of pain. My serum has been successful in alleviating these boils and subduing this condition in under 3 days on 100% of the people that have tried it. No lie. That is the product I think I'm becoming most absolutely proud of. So if you suffer from Bartholin's cysts or ingrown hairs which cause boils or pus-filled areas in your vaginal area, not in the actual, within the vulva area, but on the I need to learn my vaginal anatomy, but with not internally and inside of the vaginal canal, obviously, but also inside the lips. No, on the outer regions, which can become very painful, causing you to have to miss work or causing you not to be able to, let's say, for example, walk. Literally, this Bartholin's Cyst Serum, it's amazing. It's probably the product, like I said, that I am absolutely most proud of because the results have been phenomenal. So if you know anybody who has that, look up my information in the contact, get in touch with me, and I can forward some of it to you. I'll be posting it on the website soon. My number is 678-438-6442. 11 things that will ruin your locks. Number 1, over shampooing. You guys know that I shampoo my hair infrequently. Now, I'm not saying that's the right thing for you to do. I'm saying it's working for me. All right. Now, as my locks get longer, I'm realizing I probably need to shampoo my hair a little bit more because when I shampoo my hair, it seems to lighten the weight of it. All right. By the way, I'm going to be doing a upcoming video on Sisterlock fears. Some serious fears I have regarding my Sisterlock. So make sure you, if you haven't subscribed, liked, or shared the video, make sure you do that. But I've had my hair, you guys know, this time my daughter did my retightening. Okay. Was working on some marketing stuff for the I Am Melanin Magic line and didn't want to go in with a fresh retie. Plus I didn't want to wait too long, so I had my daughter to do it. But this time, in terms of my retie, I left a whole rotation open, which I'm pleased with. We're going to talk about some retie concerns too as well. But I've had my locks now going on 9.5 years, something like that, I think. I've lost length because of decisions that I've made and picking and all of those other things. But I've lost quite a bit of length, believe it or not. But I maintain the health of my hair. And one of the things that I make sure I do is I don't over shampoo. Okay? I think people can over shampoo their hair. And just like when you don't have locks and you have your regular hair or your other natural hair or your relaxed hair, over shampooing can be a problem. You can do so many other things besides shampooing, even in the summer, okay? You can make a spritz, an essential oil spritz that will clean your scalp. Clearly, you can use this. It's antibacterial, antifungal, and anti-everything, okay? Anti-funk. But that's very important. So if you can decrease the amount of time that you wash your hair, judge it based on your individual pattern. Let's say, for example, you're washing your hair every 2 weeks. Go to 3 weeks and then 4 weeks. If you're washing your hair every 4 weeks, go to 5 weeks and then 6 weeks. And then judge it accordingly to determine what may be too much for you. I wrote my notes down because I don't want to lose my space. You know, you guys, sometimes I'll just talk. So, over shampooing, number 1. Number 2, the second thing that will ruin your locks is using poor products on your hair or products that are too heavy. With these locks, y'all, when they're short and you just get them done, you may not notice the weight of the products on your hair. But the longer your hair gets, the more cumbersome it will become and the more weighty it will become if you are not using products that are light and if you are not washing appropriately. Regardless of the frequency with which you wash, which can be a factor too, It's also important that you wash it thoroughly so that you get everything out and your hair feels lighter after a wash. As your hair gets longer, you will begin to notice not just the weight of the lock, because it's going to be a little heavier as it gets longer, but you will notice the weight of something beyond the lock because perhaps you've used heavier products. And that's important. And that's why with this new blend, I've made some changes in the blend to make it a little bit lighter than the original blend that used to be posted on the channel, which is no longer posted. I'm sorry. I know you guys have asked me about that. A couple people have. Most of you are getting this anyway. I will tell you that you can always experiment with your own oil blends and you can try different things to see what is good for your hair. But in terms of oils, it's better to use lighter oils as much as possible and to watch anything that's too heavy. Avocado oil is too heavy, at least for my hair. All right. Some of the other oils that are extremely heavy are the kinds of oils that can sort of add extra unnecessary weight. Also, poor products that have synthetic ingredients, products that are not justified in their ability to help give quality nutrition to your hair. For example, in a majority of products out here, you'll see sunflower oil or safflower oil. Coconut oil is a heavier oil, and I'm not criticizing coconut oil, but I definitely wouldn't use it in my locks. That's just me. These oils are less expensive for a reason. All right, they're less expensive for a reason, and you need to consider that in terms of the quality of nutrition and the way some of these oils can be sourced. So when you're looking at products and you see things like palm oil and things of that nature, those are things you may want to reconsider in terms of what it is you're putting in your hair. Sometimes these products over time can get rancid, which means they're going to give your hair a rancid odor. Sometimes these products are too heavy. Sometimes the quality of the product pales in comparison to some of the higher priced oils that are more difficult to get, that also have a chemical constituency that are a lot more nutritive. All right. Overstyling, number 3, is the third thing you can do to ruin your hair. Pulling your hair up like this, having your hair braided in the cornrows like this, always styling your hair up like this. You have to pick your poison, all right? Now, I don't style my hair that much. That's why I can do some of the other stuff that I do. In addition to having been using some variety of this for over 8 years, my hair is fortified. But believe you me, that's something that I'm constantly thinking about because I color my hair, because I do other things to my hair. I used to do a lot of lint picking, so I have a lot of little broken locks. I have locks I just pull the ends off of because they had so much cotton as far as I was concerned, that each time I continued to pick, I continued to see more cotton. So that's just me, y'all. I'm OCD. But I don't do a lot of styling of my hair. All right. My hairline is much thicker than it used to be. Now, what do I attribute that to? And nothing else. Okay. It's just, it may look thicker than what it is, but when I look at how my hair used to look, it is, I would say, maybe 30% thicker around the edges than it used to be. And that is because I believe in nutrition, but it's also because I retighten my edges, or I don't play when it comes down to my edges, because these will be the first things to go. When you start losing your hair, your edges will be the first thing to go. So the styling, the pulling, if you wear headbands, things like that, be careful of anything that's creating extra friction on your hair. I see a lot of people who wear styles, and y'all know I love curls, and I love curls, but more or less now when I want a little bit more curl, I'll do a braid out. Why? Because I can braid this here. It doesn't have to affect this part. Once I get the first 2 or 3 loops on my plait, I can't even feel anything up here. I'm dealing with just this part. I'm not, you see, so I'm confining what I'm doing to this section. So when I take this out, if anything is a problem long term, it's going to be along the length of my hair. It's not going to be anything related to the root. So cut back on overstyling if you can. The number 4th thing, failing to braid and ban. just braid and band, especially if you're in the beginning of your journey. I think I braided and banded for the first several years. Every now and again, I would braid and band probably prior to a year ago. Haven't done it in a while, I don't believe. But braid and band. Okay, especially in the beginning. It prevents slippage. It helps to protect your hair. It helps the locks to continue to lock because the water will loosen them. Just braid and band, y'all. Number 6, chemical treatments like dyes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Number 5, chemical treatments like dyes. Y'all know I've done a lot of coloring. You see this color. This is what? Something I did about 2 weeks ago, right? This is on the heels of chemical hair coloring, not bleaching, but Vidal Sassoon Runaway Red. You know, guys, I did that for a few years. If I had known then what I know now, which was I could have just started with that to lighten my hair and then just put rinses over it like what I do now, I would have done that because I could have put my hair through a lot less hell. I could have loved on my beautiful tresses and been more loyal to their needs rather than the needs of my ego in terms of having color. So chemical treatments, be careful with. If there's a way for you to be able to lighten your hair and then apply a rinse to it to maintain the freshness and vibrancy if you need it and it happens not to be blonde or something like that, see if you can't examine that. It will probably be better for you. All right, number 6, a bad loctician or an uninformed or negligent loctician. That should be number 1. Get yourself a bad loctician. It's going to ruin your hair. Get you an uninformed loctician who doesn't know what they're doing, and the only thing they know about as it relates to hair has to do with the Sisterlocks, and they don't know anything else about hair. You're going to be in trouble. Get you somebody who's negligent and not willing to make corrections in your locks when they see problems arising, or not willing to deal with hair loss issues that start to creep up on you. You're going to be in trouble. Get yourself a loctician who's not willing to be honest and take responsibility for the long-term health of your locks, the longevity, the value of your investment. You're going to be in trouble. Get you a loctician who you don't feel like you can dialogue with and who will make sure that your customer needs are remedied. You're going to be in trouble. That is probably by far one of the number 1 things, if not number 1, number 2, the thing that will ruin your locks, will arrest your lock journey faster than anything else that you can do. All right, and that goes into retightenings, the schedule, the quality of them, and so many other things. Find you a loctician that not just knows what they're doing because of the quality of the install, but can maintain your locks for the long term. If I were you and I was coming into this journey, I knew less than I know now, I would be wanting to see pictures of people who have had this person doing their locks for anywhere between 5 years and more. I would want personal references. Maybe time for us to start asking for personal references, all right? Because this is a lifestyle. It's not a hairstyle. It's a major investment. And asking for references, not just looking at pictures, may be the way to go. Number 7, failing to keep an eye on your hair so that you can arrest issues early. That's very important. Some people get locks. They don't take the time to pay attention to what is going on with their hair. They think they have locks and their job is done. It is important to notice things. It's important to notice if you see thinning happening up here in an area. It's important to notice if back here the root bed seems extremely thin or it's very thick, and then the lock begins to thin out and continue to thin and thin and thin and thin, and there's no explanation for it. It's important to notice if you see a bunch of tiny short hairs all around a root bed when you get your hair redone, for example, meaning that you may have an excessive number of locks. This feels kind of thick. You may have that's one of the ones I took out. So y'all, I'm always playing with my hair. You may have an excessive amount of hair that during a retightening has been broken. And so when it starts to grow in, you see a lot of it surrounding the root. That lets you know something is going on that you need to be paying attention to. Y'all, I don't care if you have to mark these things. I don't care if you have to tie a little knot and mark a lock, or there's some other way that you need to mark a lock so that you can observe what is going on around that lock. Remember, you can have people, who cares about your hair more than you? Nobody. Who's going to put your interests at the forefront of their life more than you? Nobody. So the onus is on the consumer. It's on you to hold your loctician or the person that you're investing in accountable, or to work with them in partnership to help remediate whatever your hair needs may be. So pay attention to what is going on your hair. Periodically go through and just look at your locks. Now, of course, they're all your individual kids. They're not going to all be the same. But you should notice what is going on between your locks the same way you know what's going on between the kids that you've been raising, or the kids that you watch, or the other kids that you love on, or the dishes in your sink. You know when somebody has cracked a bowl or thrown a spoon or fork in the trash can, right? It's the same kind of thing. So that's really important. Blind allegiance to what your loctician says. That's number 8, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, blind allegiance to what? That's number 8. Blind allegiance to what your loctician says. Blind allegiance is you ignoring your intuition and you failing to take into consideration your own personal hair care needs and constantly deferring to your loctician, even though your better mind tells you something else. And this, one of the most popular things is a consultant telling you that you should not put any oil on your hair. I'm sure they have reasons for that. Weight may be one of the reasons, but your scalp may disagree. We live in a world full of environmental pollutants. We live in a world where nutrition is extremely deficient in our food supply. We live in a world where the water strips our hair of its natural oils, and it degrades the nutrition, okay, that the hair would normally have. We live in a world that is not perfect. So you need to supplement. If you are taking vitamins to supplement your health, or you having to get organic food to supplement your health because, for example, your average orange today has 60% less vitamin C or nutritive value than it did even a decade or two ago, then what in the world makes you think that the rest of your body doesn't have needs? It doesn't make sense, right? So your hair may have some needs, and if you have scalp problems and you don't remediate those, I promise you, you will have worse problems if you don't make a heart-based decision. So blindly following, blind allegiance to something that someone else tells you just because they're in charge of your hair is not a good thing. You look at your locks, you don't like the fact that the size looks different and the parts don't look like they're supposed to look, but you don't say anything because they give you some crazy story about this, that, and the other. And then that concern continues to linger until sometime down the road you realize, wow, this could have been avoided had I listened to my intuition. Now I have to have this remediated. Maybe my locks have to be split. Maybe I need to have them redone. I've got to take them down because the grid is not the way it's supposed to be. Whatever it may be. Blind allegiance to anybody fails to allow you to be your own advocate. You would not go into the doctor's office and allow them to pronounce death over you or illness over you, and then just simply take whatever it is they're saying and fail to empower yourself to make the choice that you think is best for you in terms of your health and wellness. I say don't do the same thing with anybody. Never give anyone that much control. You know what you need better than anybody else. You came to this planet with everything you already needed, and you have a wonderfully perfect internal guidance system and internal GPS, which is always working. So listen to your intuition, and if you have a concern, definitely voice it. Number 9, allowing scalp issues to persist over time, which no doubt will lead to hair loss. One of the number 1 causes, you can't say one of the number 1, that doesn't even make sense. A top cause of hair loss is scalp problems. An unhealthy scalp, an itchy, scratchy scalp, a scaly scalp, a dry scalp, a scalp with dandruff, which really dandruff in and of itself is an indicator that something is out of balance. Persistent scalp issues over time will no doubt lead to hair loss. Period. With a T on the end. There is no if, and, or buts about it. All right. So if you're dealing with scalp issues beyond a certain amount of time and you still listen to somebody telling you, you can't put this on your hair, you can't do this, that, and the other, and all that, it's time out for that. It's time for you to take control and see what it is you can do to alleviate some of those issues. Shout out to, I forget who the sister is, who had eczema throughout her scalp and has very sensitive skin. I don't recommend this for eczema. She used it and her eczema has disappeared. Okay, that's not what I recommend this for. I don't recommend it for helping with gray either, but it's helping people with gray because there are 3 ingredients in here that help to resolve gray hair. So this will do an amazing amount of good for your hair, irregardless of what you may think you may be using it for. Sister, I forget her name. I'm going to put her video up. She has a YouTube channel. You purchased this and began to notice the anti-frizz nature of it. So it really helps with frizz. So my point being, don't allow something to persist over time like scalp irritation or peeling skin or whatever it is that will eventually cause your lock to simply fall out. Now, am I in the clear? By no means. And when I say I'm going to release the video on Sisterlock fears, trust me, I do have some fears, and I'm going to get very frank about what those fears are. So wait on that video. The last thing, we're getting there. 10. Actually, that's 11, I think, beautiful ladies. Oh, I talked about that already. Yeah. So number 11. Y'all know I can't count. Since the beginning days of this channel, I get all jacked up when it comes to counting. So just give me a pass, please. I'm going to just skip to number 11. Failing to see hair loss or falling locks as indications of serious issues. Let me say this again. Failing to see that if you've lost a lock or you have some thinning in one area, failing to see that as an indication of something very serious that you need to intervene with or something that you need to arrest. Why is that? What can happen in one place can happen in another place. What has happened in one place is very likely to happen in another place, right? That situation needs to be investigated, because if it's not investigated over time, whatever is causing that problem is going to eventually cause that problem all over. Many of you have reached out to me and told me that you've had locks fall out in different places in your hair. Okay, and you're very early in the journey. Some of you, shout out to Darlene, Austin's wife. I think you've been in the journey for under a year or two, missing some locks, quite a few of you, just countless numbers of you. It's important to pay attention to when a lock falls out so that you can ascertain why. All right? There can be any number of reasons why, but like I said, what one man can do, another man can do. What can happen to one lock can happen to all the other locks over time. There could be tension that is involved in the retightening. There could be the tool that may be involved. It may be the hand of your beloved loctician that is involved. It could be any number of things, obviously hormonal and some other things, but the likelihood hormonal hair loss and certain other types of patterned hair loss has a particular look to it. It happens in a certain way. When you just start losing locks in different areas, we have to investigate what are some other reasons that this may happen, okay? And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that on the channel as well. I'm learning more as I'm bringing information to you and also investigating some of the things that you all bring to my attention here on this channel. By the way, if you have things you want me to do videos on, make sure you let me know. So these are the 11 things, or some of the 11 and pretty important things that will ruin your locks. Please take these things very seriously. I'm going to pull an oracle card for those of you who, I'm going to pull a lover's oracle card. I don't know why. And maybe another one for those of you who want to stick around. If you're not interested in this, please don't forget to share, like the video, comment. Love to hear what you have to say. And keep coming back. More will be revealed. Don't Don't forget, the website is I Am Melanin, MELANIN, magic.com. And for those of you who've gotten products from me before, please go back to the site, click on the link to whatever product you ordered and do a review, please. All right, do a review and let me know the wonderful way, please, that the hair, your hair or your skin has been assisted by using one of my products. So we're pulling a card from the Lovers deck, and we have Rewrite Your Love Story. And we're going to pull another card. This is an opportunity for you to reconcile love. And underneath we have yes. So for those of you who are needing a little extra spice in your love life, or for those of you who have, you know, realistic reasons for perhaps why maybe you may be considering giving someone another chance. I'm not talking about repeating a karmic cycle and getting yourself entangled in some more drama and an unhealthy relationship with someone. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about a situation where the love in a relationship could be up-leveled, or some source of tension could be reconciled if the two people were to improve their communication, or if they were to come to a compromise, or to sit down and, you know, spend more time together. This is saying say yes to that. If there is an opportunity that has presented itself in a marriage and a partnership, doesn't have to just be a love situation. It can also be with a family member, someone else you love, a partnership, a work situation, a friendship. If you find that this situation is salvageable, then salvage it. We have two cards that fell out. I usually only want to take one. We have Sing Your Own Song, Co-Create with Spirit. Co-Create with Spirit is just saying that, you know, the world is your oyster. You are not just a passive bystander. There's fate and then there's destiny. Okay, fate are the things we can't avoid. Destiny is what we do with our free will based upon the things that have already been decided. Okay, so this is just reminding you that you have the ability to turn around a situation. You have the ability to be in your power and to pursue another path of action. There's so many options that you actually have. And then the last card being Sing Your Own Song. Okay, it doesn't matter what other people think. It doesn't matter if you're deciding to reconcile with someone and give your love another chance. It doesn't matter what someone else thinks. It's none of their business. So I hope that you found value in this video today. If you made it to the end, please type in the comment section, I made it to the end. Lots of love, peace, I'm wishing you. Prosperity, I'm wishing you, and lots of productivity. I hope that you are enjoying the spring season as we get ready to very shortly transition into summer. I hope that you are feeling renewed. I hope that you are renewing your mind. I hope that you're allowing your spirit to be rejuvenated, and that you are reaffirming the truth in your life that you are a powerful, powerful being. Okay, my information for contact is in the description. If you're interested in a reading, if you're interested in a Reiki clearing, if you're interested in spiritual mentorship or anything else that I provide, feel free to reach out to me. I love you guys. I appreciate all of your support. Thank you for the many ways that you are channeling prosperity, abundance, love, well-wishing, and so many other positive high vibrations into my life. If I had the rest of my life, I could not dictate, or I could not delineate the multitude of ways that you guys have enriched my life. For those of you who reach out to me via text and you place your orders and we correspond back and forth, you're just one of many connections that I feel like I have all over the world. Shout out in particular to Regina, ordering from Japan, and those of you who have also ordered or reached out to me from other parts of the world. Okay, love you guys. Have a peaceful and productive day.